Welcome viewers, Nick here from TV Box Top, and welcome to part 1 of my 3-part video of one of the oldest and most popular names in the TV box industry, and they are none other than MXQ. So where are they now, and why haven't we seen their boxes in mainstream retail stores throughout 2020? Well, 2020 was a difficult year for the TV box manufacturing sector, and lots of great models either never got off the ground or were delayed and never gained traction. In this first video, I feature the MXQ G9X3 Amlogic S905X3 TV box. This box was the entry-level model into the S905X3 market, running on 4GB of RAM and 32GB of internal storage. Currently, you won't find it anywhere in retail stores, but if you are really interested and would like to get your hands on one, you can order one from the Alibaba store. This review is somewhat streamlined for expediency, so if you are new to TV boxes and don't quite follow, feel free to ask questions in the comments below. So don't go anywhere, my full review is up next. Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. In the box you have the G9X3 itself, one IR remote, one HDMI cable, a 5V 2A DC power adapter, and a user manual. Its design is made of plastic with a broad glossy surface with the MXQ logo printed to the top. It has one HDMI 2.0 port, 1 gigabit LAN port, one optical audio, one AV port, and the DC power input. You get one USB 3.0, one 2.0, and a micro SD card reader. You have a pair of LED indicators and an IR sensor to the front. And it's secured by 4 rubber feet and lots of ventilation holes. So the box starts with an MXQ animation followed by the launcher with no startup wizard. The launcher itself has a standard layout with a shortcuts bar and a date and time widget to the top. It does not have any navigation bar or status bar, and it does not have any one-click memory cleaner button. With this firmware you get 4K display, Dolby Vision, and HDR settings. It has a built-in screen rotation feature, HDMI CEC options, and audio output options. This box has a Wi-Fi hotspot feature, and you have digital surround sound audio options. It does not have a root switch, hardware monitor settings, or Samba server settings. For pre-installed applications, they have included Kodi, the official version of Miracast, Netflix, manual firmware updates, and YouTube. So I've installed some additional apps for testing the box, and one of those is the menu button navigation bar, seeing that the box does not have one. It works perfectly on this box, it loads upon restart, and all its features are working. To learn more about this alternative navigation bar and how to install it, see the link in the description below this video. To get into its system and hardware information, the app shows that it runs on 4GB of DDR4 RAM, has 32GB of internal storage, from which this is the remainder, and the Bluetooth version is 4.2 according to the product description. The CPU, which is the Amlogic S905X3, is a quad-core Cortex A55 CPU clocked at 1.9 GHz, configured in 32-bit mode with support for only 32-bit ABIs. The GPU is the Mali G31 with OpenGL ES version 3.2. Under network, it shows that the 5 GHz band is supported. The operating system is Android 9 Pie, and the app shows that the box is rooted, but that's incorrect, as I will show you in a moment. The box runs cool around 55 degrees Celsius. It comes with all the decoders for the playback of 4K HDR videos and videos with digital surround sound audio formats such as DTS and Dolby Vision decoders. In benchmarking its performance, I recorded that it has a RAM copy speed of 3148 megabytes per second. Its internal storage has a read speed of 107 megabytes per second and a write speed of 93. These are some good read and write speeds for this box. Its Wi-Fi and LAN speed test produced some great results, and it shows that you have a maximum bandwidth on both Wi-Fi bands and on the LAN port, which means it has a gigabit LAN port. These tests were performed on my 100 megabits per second network. In the Antutu benchmark, it scored 78,882. This is also a good score for this box. Its CPU scored 895 single-core and 2,383 multi-core in the Geekbench 4 CPU benchmark. Again, a good score for this box. In the graphics benchmark, it revealed that the box does not have Vulkan support, and it scored 5,687 in the Ice Storm Extreme test and 524 in the Slingshot test. These are some impressive scores and should see to it that it performs well in some 3D gaming. Let's now see where these scores place it on the chart. So the scores generated by the G9X3 placed it at position 19 in reference to Antutu benchmark scores, which is among the top 3 Amlogic S905X3 boxes on my chart. This chart is available on my blog in Excel spreadsheet format, where you can open it in full screen display and compare various scores. I also provide price comparison links. The link to this chart can be found in the description below this video. Moving along, the G9X3 is not rooted and it does not have a root switch, and its DRM information shows that it has Google Widevine Level 3 with no HDCP protection. This limits premium services such as Netflix to basic quality only. Moving on to streaming. It comes pre-installed with Netflix, but it's limited to standard resolution as the box does not have the digital rights or the Netflix ESN certification to play in HD or 4K. You can install other premium services such as Amazon Prime Video, Disney+, Sling TV, and HBO Max once you live within the US region or using a VPN. However, due to the lack of required DRM, most of these services will play in basic or standard quality only. The Android TV version of YouTube comes pre-installed and it plays up to 4K 2160p and in HDR quality. The box comes with the official version of Miracast, but it failed to connect to my mobile phone. So I tried the AirScreen app and it too failed to connect. For customization features, you can install alternative launchers and live wallpapers. For users of digital signage, the box comes with a built-in screen rotation feature. I will now test its 4K HDR video playback capability.
a win for Barca would be enough, because it would give them the same number of points as Atletico, but the head-to-head goal difference is what...
The videos played okay, and the HDR icon was triggered on my TV during the playback. I will now test for Dolby and DTS digital surround sound audio output.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels.
Juries, executioners, judges.
Welcome to the inside of your...
So the test revealed that the box has Dolby Atmos and DTS audio formats. However, out of all the formats, it could not play Dolby True HD. I will now connect my Bluetooth gamepad and play some Android games, test for graphics rendering, gamepad key mapping, and for overheating. So the games played okay, the graphics was of a high quality, gamepad key mapping worked on the Octopus app, and the box did not overheat. In summary, I'm really impressed with the performance of this model, and it's left to wonder why it wasn't a major player during the 2020 emergence of S905X3 models that flooded the market. This is only their entry-level model, and I'm really impressed with its design, quality build, and solid performance. The only complaint I have with this box is that it's not rooted, Other than that, it's a sweet TV box to buy. So I've come to the end of my review. If you are interested in this model, don't waste time searching for it because it's only currently being sold on Alibaba.com, where you can get it at a really low price. See the link in the description below this video. Thanks for watching part 1 of my MXQ Trilogy TV box series, and in part 2, it gets more exciting as I feature their second release, and we shall see what improvements they have added succeeding this already great performing model. So give this video the thumbs up if you enjoyed my presentation, and to be notified when I release part 2 of this series, click the subscribe button and the notifications bell to be notified via email as soon as I drop that video. So stay tuned and I'll be seeing you in the next one.